Hello and welcome to Glow and Grow, a place where you can relax, listen to simple English, and slowly grow into a better version of yourself. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you planned to change your life, but nothing really changed? Maybe you told yourself, I will start next week. I will start when I feel ready. I just need more time to prepare. But weeks pass, months pass, and your life still feels the same. This is something many people experience. Not because they are lazy, but because they are waiting. Waiting for the right time, waiting for motivation, waiting to feel ready. But here is the truth. Your life does not change when you plan. Your life changes when you act. If you want to succeed in anything, there is one simple rule. You must start. Not perfectly, not confidently, just start. Because every result you see in life comes from action. Without action, even the best idea will stay inside your mind forever. Let's think about this in a real situation. Imagine a student who dreams of getting a scholarship to a good university. They want it very much. They read about it. They imagine their future. They tell themselves, one day, I will try. But they never really begin. They don't study every day. They don't practice English. They don't prepare for exams. They only think. Now imagine another student. This student also has the same dream, but they start small. They study a little every day. They improve step by step. They practice even when they feel tired. At the beginning, they are not perfect. Sometimes they fail. Sometimes they feel slow, but they keep going. After 1 year, they are stronger. After 2 years, they are ready. And one day, they get the scholarship. So what made the difference? Not luck, not talent, but action. Many people believe they need to feel ready before they start. But in reality, readiness comes after action. You don't wait to feel confident. You become confident because you take action again and again. Let's take another simple example. You want to improve your English. You watch videos about learning methods. You search for the best way to study. You create a perfect plan, but you don't practice. Then nothing changes. Now imagine you just do something small. You listen to English for 10 minutes. You learn 5 new words. You speak one simple sentence. It feels small, but when you do it every day, it becomes powerful. Small actions create real progress. One important thing to understand is this. You don't need a big start. You only need a real start. Because big changes in life always begin with small steps. Sometimes, we stop ourselves because we want everything to be perfect. But perfection is not the goal. Progress is the goal. You are allowed to be a beginner. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to learn slowly. That is how growth works. So today, don't think about changing your whole life. Just ask yourself one simple question. What is one small thing I can do today? Maybe you listen to this podcast again. Write a few sentences in English. Read 1 page of a book. Or take a short walk to clear your mind. Just one small step, that is enough. Because success is not one big moment. It is many small actions done every day, step by step, day by day. If you never start, your future will stay the same. But if you start today, even in a small way, you open a new path. A path where you can grow. A path where you can improve. A path where your life slowly becomes better. And before we finish, I want to share something small with you. I wrote this script on a quiet day when I was also thinking about my own life. About the times I waited too long, and the moments I finally decided to begin. I realized that change did not come when I had the perfect plan, but when I took a small step forward. Maybe you are also in a similar place right now. Feeling unsure, feeling a little stuck, or just waiting for something to change. If that is you, I want you to know that you are not alone, and you don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take one step. I truly hope that from today, you will be a little braver, a little more patient with yourself, and a little more willing to try. And I hope that one day, you will look back and feel proud. Not because everything was easy, but because you chose to start. I wish you strength, growth, and many small wins on your journey ahead. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Start small, start now. And trust that every step you take is moving you forward. Think of your life like walking in the dark with a small flashlight. You don't need to see the whole road. You just need to see one step in front of you. And when you take that step, the next step will slowly appear. As Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." So maybe today, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need the courage to take one small step forward. You can download the learning materials for this lesson in the comment section below, so you can practice more easily and improve your English step by step. Take your time. Come back to this lesson anytime. And let this be one small step in your journey to grow every day. If you are building your life, your skills, and your future, you are exactly where you need to be. Now, take a deep breath. Slow down, and let's begin. Today, I want to tell you something very honest. The path to success is not clean, not pretty, and not something you can always show on Instagram. Many people think success looks organized, peaceful, and perfect. But in reality, it often looks messy, confusing, and even lonely. When people are building something great, their life can feel out of control. They may not have balance. They may not feel ready. They may even doubt themselves. But they keep going. And that is what makes the difference. So if your life feels messy right now, it does not mean you are failing. It may mean you are building. Instead of trying to look perfect, focus on what really matters. There are 3 simple things you need to focus on: working, learning, and serving. It sounds simple, but if you repeat these 3 things every day, they can completely change your life. Let's start with the first one, working. You need to take action. Not just thinking, not just planning, not just dreaming. Action. Many people stay in their head. They think too much. They wait for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. You don't need to be ready. You just need to start. Start small. Start imperfect. Do it even if you feel unsure. Because action creates clarity. When you start doing something, you begin to understand what works and what doesn't. If you wait until everything is perfect, you will never begin. Now the second one, learning. You must become a lifelong learner. The world is always changing. If you stop learning, you stop growing. But learning does not mean just watching videos or reading books. Real learning means understanding and applying. Try to keep a beginner's mindset. This means you stay open, curious, and ready to learn new things. Even if you already know something, ask yourself, what else can I learn here? This mindset helps you grow faster than most people. Also, remember this: learning is earning. The more you learn, the more value you can create. And the more value you create, the more opportunities come to you. Now, the third one, serving. This is something many people forget. Success is not only about you. It is also about what you give to others. Use your skills, your knowledge, and your energy to help people. You don't need to do something big. You can start small. Share your ideas. Help someone understand something. Create content that makes people feel better or think differently. When you focus on serving, you build real value. And real value always comes back to you in some way. So remember this simple loop: work, learn, serve. Work, learn, serve. Repeat it every day. This simple process creates momentum. And momentum is very powerful. When you have momentum, things start to feel easier. You feel more confident. You see progress. Now let's talk about something else very important. The people you learn from, the people you follow, the people you spend time with, they have a strong impact on your life. If you spend time with people who think small, you will think small. If you listen to people who complain, you will complain. But if you learn from people who grow, you will grow. So, how do you choose the right people to learn from? There are two simple things to look for. First, they have the results you want. This is very important. If you want to learn about business, learn from someone who has built a real business. If you want to learn about health, learn from someone who is healthy. Results matter. It may sound obvious, but many people ignore this. They listen to advice from people who do not have real experience. And this can slow them down. Second, they match your values and your style. You don't need to copy someone completely. You need to feel comfortable with their way of thinking. When you listen to them, you should feel inspired, not stressed. You should feel more like yourself, not less. Because success is not only about results. It is also about how you feel while building your life. The right mentor does not only teach you how to succeed, they help you become a better version of yourself. And here is something important to remember. You don't need to meet these people in real life. Today, you can learn from books, podcasts, videos, and online content. You can build your own circle of mentors. So be careful with what you watch, what you read, and who you listen to, because it shapes your mind. Now, let's bring everything together in a simple way you can follow every day. Wake up and ask yourself, what can I do today? Do one small action. That is your work. Learn one small idea. That is your learning. Help one person, even in a small way. That is your service. It does not need to be big. It just needs to be consistent. Some days will feel slow. Some days will feel hard. You may feel like nothing is changing. But trust the process. Because one day, everything will connect, and you will realize that all those small, messy, imperfect days were building something strong. So don't wait for your life to look perfect. Don't wait for everything to be ready. Start now. Stay simple. Stay consistent. Work, learn, serve, and repeat. Today we are going to talk about a very important idea. Invest in yourself. Let me ask you a simple question. If you had 10 minutes today, where would you invest it? Many people spend those 10 minutes scrolling on their phone and watching other people's lives. But imagine using those same 10 minutes to learn something new, practice a skill, or improve your mindset. Over time, those 10 minutes can slowly change your life. This is what investing in yourself really means. And here is something important to understand. Investing in yourself does not always mean doing something big or dramatic. It often starts with small and simple actions. It means using your time and energy to grow a little every day. Learning something new, improving a skill, taking care of your mind, or building better habits. These small investments may not look powerful in one day, but over time, they slowly build a stronger and better version of you. And there is another important reason why investing in yourself matters so much. It is one of the few investments you will almost never regret. Money can be lost. Plans can change. Opportunities sometimes disappear. But the knowledge you gain, the skills you practice, and the mindset you build stay with you for a very long time. No one can take them away from you. When you learn something new, it becomes part of who you are. When you build a new skill, it opens new doors in your future. When you grow stronger inside, you can face challenges with more confidence. This is why investing in yourself is so powerful. Because every small improvement you make today continues helping you tomorrow, next year, and even many years from now. And once we understand why investing in ourselves is so valuable, the next question becomes very simple. What does it actually look like in everyday life? The good news is that investing in yourself does not need to be complicated. In fact, it often happens through very small daily actions. For example, you can invest in your knowledge by reading a few pages of a book or learning something new online. You can invest in your skills by practicing a language, writing a few sentences, or improving a skill you care about. You can also invest in your mind by taking time to reflect, staying calm during a difficult moment, or choosing thoughts that help you grow. Some people invest in their health by exercising, walking, or getting enough rest. None of these actions look dramatic in one day. But when you repeat them every day, they slowly build a stronger, wiser, and more confident version of yourself. Another way to invest in yourself is by taking care of your mind. Many people spend a lot of time worrying about what other people think. They compare their progress with someone else's progress. They look at other people's success and feel discouraged. But comparison is not an investment. Comparison only steals your energy. Instead of looking at other people's life, you can look at your own path. Ask yourself a simple question. What is one small thing I can improve today? Maybe you become a little more patient. Maybe you learn a new word. Maybe you try something that feels a little uncomfortable. These actions may feel small, but they are powerful over time. Let me share a short story. A few years ago, I knew someone who wanted to become more confident, but he always believed he was not good enough. Every time he saw someone more successful, he felt discouraged. One day, he decided to try something different. Instead of focusing on other people, he decided to focus on improving himself just a little bit every day. He started reading 10 pages of a book each day. He practiced speaking in front of the mirror for a few minutes. He tried learning one new skill every month. At first, the changes were very small. But after a few months, something surprising happened. His confidence began to grow. He started feeling stronger. He started believing in himself more. Not because he suddenly became perfect, but because he invested in himself every day. This is how real growth happens. Not in one big moment, but in many small moments. Imagine saving $1 every day. $1 may not look important, but after many months, the money grows. Personal growth works the same way. One small habit, one small improvement, one small step forward. And over time, these small steps create a new version of you. The most important thing to remember is this: you are the most important project in your life. Your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, and your health will stay with you longer than any job, any trend, or any social media post. When you invest in yourself, you are building a stronger future. So today, try something simple. Take 10 minutes to learn something new. Practice a skill you care about. Read a few pages of a good book. Or simply take a quiet moment to think about your goals. These small actions may not feel dramatic, but they are powerful. And if you repeat them every day, something beautiful begins to happen. You begin to grow. Your confidence becomes stronger. Your mind becomes clearer. Your future becomes brighter. One day, you may look back and realize something important. The best investment you ever made was not money. It was the time and effort you gave to becoming a better version of yourself. So remember this simple idea. Invest in yourself. Because when you grow, your whole life grows with you. Today, I want to talk about something that can quietly change your whole life. Planning your life. This may sound serious at first, but actually, it is very simple. Many people want a better life. They want more peace, more success, more meaning, and more happiness. But often, they do not stop and ask an important question. What kind of life do I really want? And this is where the problem begins. Because if you do not know what you truly want, life can take you in many different directions. You may keep saying yes to things that do not feel right. You may follow other people's dreams. You may build a life that looks okay from the outside, but does not feel right on the inside. Sometimes, when people do not know what they really like, They simply accept what comes to them. A job appears. A relationship appears. A busy schedule appears. And they say yes. Not because they deeply want it, but because they are not sure what else they want. And slowly, they begin to live a life they never clearly chose. This is why planning your life matters. Planning does not mean controlling everything. It does not mean every day must be perfect. And it does not mean life will always go the way you expect. Planning means giving your life direction. It means knowing what matters to you. It means understanding what kind of person you want to become. It means deciding what you want to move toward and what you want to move away from. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you want to travel to a new city. You are excited. You want to arrive there safely. You want to enjoy the journey. But what happens if you do not know where the city is? What happens if you do not check the road? What happens if you just start driving without a map? You may keep moving, but you may not reach the place you truly want. Life can be like that too. Many people are always busy. They work hard. They try many things. They move all the time. But being busy is not the same as moving in the right direction. You can spend years doing many things and still feel lost. Not because you are lazy, not because you are weak, but because you never made a clear plan for the life you wanted. There is another important truth. A dream needs a plan. Many people say, I want to speak English better. I want to be healthier. I want to save money. I want a more peaceful life. These are good goals. But a goal without a plan often stays only a dream. Why? Because wanting something is not enough. You need to know what you will do. If you want better English, maybe you can listen for 15 minutes every day. If you want better health, maybe you can walk more and sleep earlier. If you want more peace, maybe you can spend less time on your phone and give yourself more quiet time. A goal becomes real when your daily life supports it. And this is why planning matters so much. Here is something interesting. Many people carefully plan their vacation. They think about where to go, what to bring, and what they want to enjoy. But sometimes, they spend more time planning 1 week of travel than planning their own life. And that is something to think about, because your life is even more important. How do you want to live? What kind of work, habits, and relationships do you want in your life? These are important questions. Your life is built from your days, and your days are built from your choices. So if you want a meaningful life, it helps to plan meaningful days. Ask yourself simple questions. How do I want today to feel? What is one important thing I need to do today? What is stealing my energy? What gives me peace? What can I accept? What can I no longer accept? These are powerful questions. A clear plan can bring you back to yourself. It reminds you of who you are. It reminds you of what matters. It reminds you of the kind of life you are trying to build. And step by step, that creates a deeper kind of happiness. Not the quick happiness that disappears in a moment, but the quiet happiness of knowing that your life is becoming more honest, more intentional, and more truly yours. So please take a notebook, sit quietly, and ask yourself a few honest questions. What do I truly want more of in my life? What do I want less of? What kind of person do I want to become? What kind of life would feel meaningful to me? What is one small step I can begin today? Maybe your first step is waking up earlier. Maybe it is learning a new skill. Maybe it is saving a little money. Maybe it is spending less time on things that drain you. Maybe it is finally admitting that you want something different from the life you are living now. That honesty is powerful. Because once your direction becomes clear, your choices begin to change. And when your choices change, your life begins to change too. Before you leave this episode, remember this. If you do not plan your life, life may choose for you. And you may end up carrying things you never truly wanted. But when you take time to understand yourself, define your values, and create a clear plan, you give yourself something beautiful. You give yourself direction. You give yourself purpose. And you give yourself a better chance at a happy and meaningful life. Because the clearer your life plan becomes, the more peacefully and intentionally you can live. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy learning English through simple stories and thoughtful ideas, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Before we begin, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you are running a race, but instead of looking at your own path, you keep turning your head to look at other runners. Some are faster than you. Some look more confident. Some are already far ahead. The more you look at them, the more you slow down. You feel tired, distracted, and maybe even a little lost. Now here is the question. What if the real reason you are not moving forward is not because you are not good enough, but because you are looking at the wrong direction? This is something many people experience every day. We compare, we doubt, and we chase what others have, without asking what truly matters to us. Today, we are going to talk about something simple but powerful. How to master yourself, so you can master your life. Because in the end, your life is not a competition with others. It is a relationship with yourself. Many people believe success means being better than everyone else. But if your happiness depends on being better than others, you will always feel pressure. There will always be someone richer, someone smarter, someone more successful. And this creates 3 quiet enemies in your life: comparison, jealousy, and greed. Comparison makes you feel not enough. Jealousy takes away your peace. And greed pushes you to chase things that may not truly make you happy. Slowly, without realizing it, you move further away from who you really are. So what is the solution? The solution is simple, but not always easy. Focus on yourself. Not in a selfish way, but in a mindful way. Focus on becoming better than who you were yesterday. Because the biggest victory in life is not winning over others. It is winning over yourself. Let me share a story with you. There was a young man who dreamed of becoming a great runner. At first, he trained very hard, but he was always unhappy. Every time he ran, he looked at other people. He compared his speed, his results, his progress. When others were faster, he felt discouraged. When others improved, he felt left behind. One day, his coach gave him a simple advice. Stop looking around. Just focus on your own steps. The next day, he tried something different. He stopped comparing. He focused only on his breathing, his rhythm, and his movement. He paid attention to his own progress, no matter how small. At first, nothing special happened, but day by day, something changed inside him. He became calmer. He became more focused. He started to enjoy the process, and slowly, his performance improved. Not because he tried to beat others, but because he became better than himself. This story is not just about running. It is about life. When you stop comparing and start focusing on your own growth, everything changes. You have more energy because you are not wasting it on others. You have more peace because you are not fighting a competition that never ends. And you have more clarity because you know what truly matters to you. Another important idea is this: what you focus on will grow. If you focus on what you don't have, you will always feel lack. If you focus on other people's lives, you will forget your own. But if you focus on growth, learning, and progress, your life will slowly move in that direction. This is why your attention is so powerful. It is like water for your life. Wherever you give it, that area will grow. So every day, ask yourself one simple question. Where is my attention going? Is it helping me grow, or is it making me feel worse? You don't need to control everything in your life. But you can control your actions. You can control your mindset. You can control your focus. And that is enough to change your direction. Sometimes, we think we need big changes to transform our life. But the truth is, small changes are more powerful. Waking up a little earlier, reading a few pages, exercising for a short time, choosing positive thoughts instead of negative ones. These small actions may not feel important today, but over time, they create a completely different life. And remember this: you are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to learn step by step. Growth is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. There will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel behind, days when you doubt yourself. But those days are part of the journey. What matters is that you don't stop. Keep going, even if it is just one small step. Because every small step is still forward. And before we finish, I want to share something personal with you. There were times when I also felt lost, comparing myself to others and thinking I was not doing enough. But everything started to change when I made one simple decision. I stopped looking outside, and I started looking inside. I focused on my own growth, my own path, my own pace. And slowly, life became lighter. I felt more peaceful, more confident, and more in control. Maybe you are also in that place right now, feeling confused or not good enough. And if you are, I want you to remember this. You are not behind. You are just on your own journey. So from today, try something different. Less comparison, less jealousy, less noise. more focus, more growth, more positive energy. Because in the end, when you master yourself, you master your life. And you don't need to win against the world. You just need to win against the person you were yesterday. So take a deep breath, come back to yourself, and take one small step forward today. Have you ever opened your phone just to relax for a few minutes, but after scrolling for a while, you suddenly feel like your life is not good enough? Maybe you see someone traveling to a beautiful place, someone else starting a new business, another person sharing a big achievement. At first, you are just watching. But slowly, a quiet thought appears in your mind. Everyone is moving forward except me. And without realizing it, your attention slowly leaves your own life and begins to live inside everyone else's story. But here is something most people never stop to ask. If you spend so much time watching everyone else's life, who is actually building yours? This is something very important to understand. Your attention is like energy. Wherever your attention goes, your energy follows. If your attention is always on other people, your energy goes there too. Their progress fills your mind, and their success affects how you feel. But when your attention returns to your own life, something different begins to happen. Your energy starts helping your own growth. Think about a simple situation. Imagine you want to learn English. You sit down and start watching a lesson. For a few minutes, you are focused. But then you open social media. You see someone speaking English very fluently. Another person says they learned English in 6 months. Someone else posts a perfect video speaking English. Suddenly, a thought appears in your mind. Maybe I am too slow. When that thought appears, your motivation becomes weaker. But here is the truth many people forget. The problem is not your ability. The problem is where your attention is going. Attention works like a flashlight in a dark room. Wherever you point the light, that place becomes clear. If you point the light at the wall, you see the wall. If you point the light at the floor, you see the floor. Your attention works the same way. If you focus on other people's lives, you mostly see their success and their progress. But if you focus on your own life, you begin to see something different. You start seeing your own opportunities, your own ideas, and your own next step. Let me tell you a short story. I once knew someone who wanted to improve his English. At first, he was very motivated. He watched videos every day and tried to learn new words. But after some time, he started comparing himself with other learners. Some people spoke more fluently. Some people learned faster. Some people sounded very confident. Every time he listened to them, he felt discouraged and began thinking, maybe I am just not good at this. Slowly, he practiced less and less. Not because he could not improve, but because comparison was taking away his energy. One day, he tried something different. Instead of asking, "Who is better than me?" he asked himself a simple question. What is one small thing I can improve today? Some days he learned 5 new words. Some days he listened to English for 10 minutes. Some days he practiced speaking one simple sentence. The improvement was small, and sometimes almost invisible. But he continued doing it every day. After a few months, something interesting happened. His listening became easier, and his speaking became more confident. Not because he was the best learner, but because he focused on his own progress. This is an important lesson. Growth becomes easier when we stop comparing and start improving. Another way to understand this is to imagine a mirror. A mirror helps you see yourself clearly. You notice small changes. Maybe you are stronger than last year. Maybe you are calmer in difficult situations. Maybe you are learning new skills. But imagine turning that mirror away from yourself and pointing it toward everyone else. Now the mirror no longer helps you because you only see other people. Many people live like this. Their attention becomes a mirror that only shows other people's lives. But when you turn the mirror back toward yourself, something changes. You begin to see your own progress again. Maybe you are more patient than before. Maybe you are learning something new. Maybe you are slowly becoming stronger after a difficult time. These changes may be small, but they are real. And when you notice your own progress, confidence begins to grow. Confidence does not come from being better than everyone else. Confidence comes from seeing yourself improve, step by step. So here is something simple you can try today. Instead of asking, "Who is doing better than me?" ask yourself, "What is one small thing I can do better today?" Maybe you read one more page, practice 10 more minutes, or take one small step toward your goal. These steps may look small, but when you repeat them every day, they slowly change your life. When you focus on your own path, life becomes calmer and clearer. You stop competing with everyone else and start growing at your own pace. And one day you may realize something important. The real goal was never to be better than others. The real goal was simply to become a better version of yourself. So before you continue your day, ask yourself one simple question. What is one small step I can take today? Because remember this: your life grows where your attention goes. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy learning English through simple stories and gentle encouragement, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next episode. You are wasting your time every day, and you don't even realize it. Not because you are lazy, not because you are not smart, but because you are practicing the wrong way. And if you don't change this, 1 year from now, your English and your life will still be the same. Hello and welcome to Glow and Grow, where you don't just learn English. You learn how to actually grow in real life. Just relax and listen. You don't need to understand everything. Just stay with me. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a day where you felt busy, but at the end, nothing really changed? You watched videos, you scrolled your phone, you told yourself, "Tomorrow I will start." And then, tomorrow comes, and it looks exactly the same. This is the hidden problem. Most people are not stuck because they don't try. They are stuck because their effort is going in the wrong direction. Let me give you a very real example. Imagine two people learning English. Person A studies grammar for 2 hours. They watch many videos. They understand everything, but they never speak. they never write. They never use it. Person B only studies 20 minutes. But after that, they speak out loud. They write a short paragraph. They make mistakes every day. After 3 months, who is better? Almost always person B. Why? Because using is learning. Thinking is not learning. This is where most people get it wrong. They confuse learning with progress. But learning without action is just information. And information does not change your life. Action does. Now, let's look at your daily life again. When you open your phone, what do you usually do? You scroll. You watch random videos. You switch from one thing to another. And after 30 minutes, you feel nothing. But imagine this small change. Next time you open your phone, you listen to 5 minutes of English. Then you pause and repeat one sentence out loud. That's it. Just one sentence. This is how real improvement starts. It is not big. It is not impressive. But it is real. Let me tell you another truth that might feel uncomfortable. You don't need more time. You already have time. What you don't have is focus. Because your time is broken into small pieces, and you give those pieces to everything except your growth. You say you don't have time, but you have 1 hour of scrolling every day. That is your hidden time. If you take just 20 minutes from that and use it the right way, your life will start to change. Let's make this simple. Here is a system you can actually follow. Every day, 1 hour only. 20 minutes input. You listen or read something simple. 20 minutes action. You speak or write using what you just learned. 20 minutes creation. You make something small. A voice recording. A short post. A few sentences about your day. This is not about being perfect. This is about becoming the type of person who practices every day. And this changes everything. Because success is not about doing something big one time. It is about doing something small, again and again, until it becomes who you are. Now here is the part that most people cannot handle. It will feel boring. You will feel like you are not improving. You will feel slow. And this is exactly the moment when most people quit. But think about going to the gym. The first week, you feel nothing. The second week, still nothing. But after a few months, your body changes. English is the same. Your life is the same. Growth is slow at the beginning, but powerful at the end. Let me give you one more example. A student decides to speak English for 5 minutes every day. At first, it feels uncomfortable. They don't know what to say. They make many mistakes. But they keep going. After 30 days, speaking becomes easier. After 90 days, they can express simple ideas. After 6 months, they are more confident than most people who only study. This is not talent. This is repetition. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel confident. You don't need confidence to start. You need action to build confidence. And here is something very important. Don't try to learn everything. Choose 2 or 3 skills that really matter. For example, speaking, writing, and thinking clearly. Focus on them. Practice them every day. Use them in your real life. This is how you grow faster than people who try to learn everything at the same time. Now, take a moment and be honest with yourself. There was probably a time when you said, I want to change. I want to improve. But your actions stayed the same. You still delayed. You still waited. You still chose comfort. And because of that, your results stayed the same too. This is not a bad thing. It is just a real moment. And real moments can change your life. Because now you can choose differently. Starting today, you don't need a big plan. You don't need a perfect system. You just need one small decision. Use what you learn today. Speak one sentence. Write one idea. Try one small action. And then do it again tomorrow. And again the next day. Because one day, you will look back and realize something very simple, but very powerful. Your life did not change because of one big moment. It changed because of the small choices you repeated every day. So don't wait. Don't overthink. Start now. Start small. And keep going. I'm really glad you're here today. Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever said yes to something, but deep inside, you actually wanted to say no? Maybe you didn't want to make someone sad, or you didn't want to feel guilty, so you just said yes. But later, you felt a little tired, or maybe a bit uncomfortable. If that sounds like you, you're not alone. A lot of us do this more often than we think. And today, we're going to talk about it in a very simple and honest way, so you can start choosing yourself without feeling bad. People-pleasing means you always try to keep everyone happy. You don't want anyone to feel upset, and you don't want anyone to be angry with you. So you keep saying yes, you keep agreeing, and you keep helping, even when you are already tired or don't really want to. At first, it feels like a good thing, because you think you are kind, and you think you are a good person. But over time, something starts to change. You begin to feel more tired, more stressed, and sometimes even a little frustrated inside. But you stay quiet and don't say anything. And the more you ignore your own feelings like this, the heavier it feels. Until helping others no longer feels good. And you slowly lose your energy and your peace. Most people don't people please because they are truly kind. They do it because they are afraid. Afraid that people won't like them. Afraid that people might leave. Or afraid that they are not good enough. So they try to be perfect, always nice, always helpful, always saying yes. But here is the truth. You don't have to please everyone to be liked. The right people will like you for who you are, not for how much you give or how much you do for them. Let's look at a simple example. You plan to study English tonight. Maybe 1 hour of listening practice. You feel motivated and you want to improve. Then your friend sends you a message and says, "Let's go out tonight." You don't really want to go, and you feel a bit tired. But you think, if I say no, my friend will be sad. So you say yes. You go out, you smile, you talk. But inside you feel a little heavy. Later, when you go home, you didn't study. You feel guilty. And you feel like you are falling behind. This is people-pleasing. You make someone else happy, but you hurt yourself. The problem is not just saying yes. The real problem is that you slowly forget what you want. you stop listening to yourself. Over time, you may feel like you don't even know what you like anymore. You become tired all the time. And the worst part is that people get used to it. They think you will always say yes. So they ask more and more. Now, here is something very important. Being kind does not mean you have to say yes all the time. Real kindness includes you. You matter too. Your time matters. Your energy matters. And your feelings matter. If you always ignore yourself, that is not kindness. That is self-neglect. Next time someone asks you for something, don't answer right away. Just pause for a few seconds and ask yourself, do I really want to do this? If the answer is yes, you can go ahead. But if the answer is no, it is completely okay to say no. This small pause can change everything. You don't need to be rude, and you don't need to explain too much. You can say simple things like, I'm sorry, I can't today. Or, I want to help, but I'm busy, right now. Or, maybe another time. Short, clear, and still kind. Let's go back to the English study example. Your friend asks again, let's go out. This time you pause and you think, I really want to study today. So you say, sorry, I can't today. I want to finish my English practice. Maybe your friend understands. Maybe they don't. But something important happens. You respect yourself. You finish your lesson. You feel proud. You feel calm. And slowly, your life improves. Think of your energy like a phone battery. If you use it all day without rest, it goes to 0%, and then nothing works. People-pleasing is the same. If you give too much to others, you will have nothing left for yourself. And if you are empty, you cannot truly help anyone. So remember this. You don't need to be liked by everyone. You don't need to say yes all the time. You don't need to lose yourself to be a good person. You can say no. You can take a break. You can choose yourself. And you are still kind. Because real kindness is not about how much you give. It is about how long you can give without losing your peace. Before we end, here is one simple question for you. When was the last time you said yes to yourself? Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate you being here and listening all the way to the end. I hope this episode gave you a small moment to pause, to breathe, and to think about yourself a little more. If something in this talk stayed with you, you can always come back and listen again whenever you need it. And if you want to go a little deeper, I've left a short quiz and some simple vocabulary in the comments, so you can practice and remember what you learned today. Take one small step, try one sentence, and slowly make it your own. I'll see you again in the next episode.